everyone, it's Linny. Welcome to a very late November plan with me. I've been trying to play catch up on everything because I recently had to go to work with my dad for 3 weeks in place of my mom since she got foot surgery. Luckily, she's slowly healing and I finally get to go back to my things. So that's why the video is late, but I chose an apple theme for this month because I've been in charge of making pies for Thanksgiving for the past few years, and my favorite flavor of pie is the classic apple pie, so I was like, let's just make the theme apples. Starting off with my usual quote slash pun slash motivational words page on the left, I decided to draw 3 boxes of different sizes with an empty space for the words. I always see cute art laid out similar to this online, so I kind of wanted to give it a try. They always have a different image in each box, but with the same color scheme, so I thought it'd be perfect to have it as the cover of the month. In the top box, I drew an apple tree branch with some leaves and a couple of apples hanging from it. In the long vertical left box, I kept it simple with a pattern of leaves and apples. I thought it connected pretty well with the top branch, so it kind of looks like apples falling from the tree. And then in the last square box on the bottom right, I wanted something a little more detailed since the other 2 boxes were pretty simple, so I drew a basket of apples. Finally, in the empty space, I wrote "cutest apple in the orchard" as a cute little uplifting message. And then I just went back to add in some sparkles and mini hearts in all of the boxes because I wanted to fill in some of the empty space. To the right side, I wrote out the calendar inside what I hope looks like an apple sliced in half. Then I wrote November inside a light brown box on top to keep things nice and simple since the left side had more doodles already. On the next page, we have my monthly calendar. After labeling November on top, I turned the journal 90 degrees and drew a basic calendar so that the boxes for each day wouldn't be super narrow. I wanted the top line of each box where I would be labeling the date to be colored in, so I actually did that first so that the yellow wouldn't bleed once I used black to divide up all the days. Then I just labeled the days of the week on top along with all the dates in each box. were 5 empty spaces before the month started, so I just drew different variations of apples in each box. I drew whole apples, wedges, apple cores, and an apple cut in half. And again, when I was done, I just went back and put in sparkles and little hearts all around the apples. Next up, we have my mood tracker on the right. I thought it'd be cute to draw a little wagon full of apples on the bottom and then fill the rest of the page with empty apples to color in each day for my mood. So that's what I did. I made it a really simple wagon with an apple design going across and mini hearts around the wheels. I also put some grass around it to fill in the empty space a bit. And then I just colored in a bunch of apples piled on top of the wagon. I realized after coloring in the apples that I could have just made some of those apples the key, but it was too late. So moving on, I drew black outlines of apples everywhere on the page, and I went back to add stems on all of them and leaves on some of them. I also decided to put sparkles all around again. And for the key, I drew wedge shapes in different colors around the wagon among the grass, and put a different face in each for each of the moods. Looking back now, it probably would have made more sense to draw just like the whole apple shape rather than wedges so that they can kind of look like they fell from the wagon. But again, it's too late, so it's okay. But yeah, sometimes you don't realize these details when you're in the moment. Flipping over, we have my habit tracker. I used the same colors as I've been using for the apples, red, green, and yellow, to color in boxes for the name of each habit. I have 10 for the month. Make sure to leave enough space underneath each one to outline the calendar shape with this corresponding color. Then I went around labeling each habit and numbering each of the mini calendars. I really need to get a stamp for that soon because that's always the most painful part of all the spreads. But next, in the space on the bottom right, I'm just drawing a really simple fence with some bushes behind it. On the right page, I'm starting my daily spread. Again, I'm using red, green, and yellow to color in boxes to label the days. I left a few columns in between the two sides of labels to doodle some apples, but before that I just went in to label all the dates along with the day of the week in each colored box. For the strip of apple doodles, I decided to make a pattern with dots in between each apple. Then at the very bottom, I drew a line next to the last apple as a separation since there wasn't enough space to add 2 more days on the page. And unfortunately, I don't have an apple-themed washi tape, but I figured this gold one I've been using in a couple of other spreads matched well enough, so I put a strip on the bottom of both pages. I'm just continuing with my daily spread on the next 2 pages, but instead of leaving strips for apple doodles, I put the labels close together toward the middle of the 2 pages, leaving the sides empty for a border. I made sure to go in and add the dates, and I just drew some red lines as the border on each side. I tried to make it somewhat resemble a plaid design because it reminds me of picnic blankets, which suits the apple theme in my mind. Lastly, I'm finishing up with my memories page. After writing the title on the top, I went down to the bottom right corner to draw a little window where you can see apple trees from. Then I used the red marker to complete the border similar to the last page to bring it all together, and that's it! I hope you liked this month's spread even though it's really late. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all very soon with a December plan with me, fingers crossed. And yeah,